Hello everyone, and this is BioPhoenix here, and today we're going to be doing a video response to one of my longtime subscribers, being Terry309. So this topic is going to be talking about what are my favorite and my least favorite videos that I've done. So I figured this would be a kind of fun, interesting topic to talk about, and of course there's no real major rules here or anything because, well, you know, it's exactly what the title says, but just like everyone else, I do think it would be cool if you guys did video responses to it as well. So alright, let's begin. So as for my favorite video that I've worked on, it's pretty tough just to pick one because I feel like there's a lot of videos that I've worked on, especially in the past couple years, and I'm actually very happy with the way how they turned out. But one that does come to mind, and it's one that I usually tend to go back to every so often, happens to be my review for the game Watching Rotor on the Sega Saturn. This was actually the 200th review that I've ever done. So it's also a pretty big milestone for me, but that's not the only reason why I would consider it to be my favorite. So let me go over some basic stuff first. So this was a game that was Japan only on the Sega Saturn that happens to be a strategy RPG, and it's one that I've always wanted to play for a long time because how I found out about the game was actually pretty random. I found it by looking up stuff on one of my favorite musicians, being Ian McDonald, who happened to do a couple songs within the game, and he also happens to be a part of some of my all-time favorite bands, so the fact that I found out about him making songs for a video game, I had to check it out, and the fact that it was like an RPG too made it even more intriguing. But unfortunately, the game was not fan-translated, though I think it is now, but it's in beta, but it is being worked on. But anyways, so yeah, it's one of those games I just always wanted to play, and of course I always try to talk about it within some of my music discussions, because I do feel that the music is amazing and is very underrated, and I think people need to check it out. But as time went on, one thing I found out about was that someone actually made a translation guide on game FAQs, where they actually did a walkthrough of the whole game, where they actually translated all the dialogue within that little walkthrough. And that was how I was able to play through the game and actually understand its story, and I feel like that the translation on there was actually done really well. It made perfect sense, and it didn't have any major errors or anything. But as good as this sounds, I do have to say that trying to play a video game like this while also looking at the game FAQs thing on the side, and while you're trying to read the English part while you're going through the cutscenes while seeing everything that's going on, yeah, it's very tedious, and I can totally understand why most people were not able to play through this game, with that little, strategy thing. It also felt like it took me a lot longer to complete through the game because of that, because I really wanted to make sure I got my shit right. But as you know, I finished it, and then I was able to, work on the video, and everything just went really smoothly. I was actually really happy the way how it turned out for that. I really like how I explain everything. I think I did it in a way where it's not overly long, but it's also easy to follow. I mean I do try to do that with every single video, but you know, I feel like this one was the one that I feel like I just really nailed it, especially for a game that just has a lot of stuff going on. And I do feel that it is very important for a game like this because, you know, this is a game that barely anyone that speaks English played. So yeah, despite the fact that it took a long while for me to get to the video, and then also took a long time to make the video, I think it was worth it. I was just really happy with the way how it turned out. And that's all I'm going to say on that one. As much as I would love to talk about a whole bunch of other videos, I'm just really happy how the way they turned out, well, you know, we'd be here forever. So now I'm going to get moving on and talk about my least favorite video I have. And oh boy, this is a fun one. So I think for this one, I'm going to mention two. I'm going to mention, a review, and then I'm going to mention just, you know, something I just made on the channel. And so for the one that I made on the channel, I mean, I've talked about this a few times, so you probably already know what it is, but it was actually one of the very first videos that I've ever uploaded, which happens to be an abridged series based after Kagero Deception 2. I still have it uploaded on the channel, but, you know, I just wouldn't recommend you watching it unless you want to lose your brain cells. So yeah, it was a video that I made when I was a teenager, when I was trying to make my own abridged series based after one of my favorite video games, and I tried to do everything myself, all the voices and everything, and you know, I'll be straight up with you guys, I'm not a very good voice actor. I'm still not, even my Arnold impression is not very good. But yeah, those videos were just bad. Not only was that I had, really bad audio, the voice acting was bad, the jokes were bad, and they were just really stupid and cringy, and just very hard for me to sit through. So I'd say those were probably, my least favorite, videos, overall. But, you know what, though, if I've just had to mention, just, the review ones that I've worked on, Well, this one's kind of tough to pick one because I feel like that most of my like really early reviews are like really not that good. For one, not only was the audio not great, also my voice, like I don't know what the hell happened, but like my voice was like way deeper than it is now. And I was younger, like I was still a teenager, so like I don't know how the fuck that makes sense, but whatever. But also, I just don't like the way how I, like, spoke in those videos, too, because, like, I actually used a script, and I used to, like, read off of that script. And I can tell you that, yeah, when I read off of a script, it just sounds really fucking bad. And what's funny about this, too, is that, a couple videos ago, someone actually did comment on my video saying how I should actually try using a script, because apparently it would improve my video or whatever, and I actually told them saying that, no, I used to do scripts, and trust me, you don't want that. It would actually make the video worse. Because the way how I do my videos now, or what I have been doing them for many years, is that, you know, I just write down things that I just want to say, and just kind of just go off of that. So I'm not, like, sounding like I'm just reading off of shit. I'm just telling you as it is, and I think it just sounds the best. Plus, it's also not as much work as, like, just trying to, like, do a whole write-up on everything, because, you know, I already write scripts for, like, my Trails of Cold Steel Abridged series on, like, a whole other channel, and, you know, that's a lot of work as it is. So the point is that, yeah, like, reading off a script for me, like, and trying to make it sound natural, yeah, I'm not good at that shit. But going back to the reviews I want to pick, well, I can definitely say, and one other thing I can also say about my older reviews that I wish I didn't do, was that some of the games that I chose early on were, like, I feel like they weren't really, like, ones that I just don't really fit the channel anymore. Now, granted, like, you know, I was still trying to figure shit out, but, you know, but there was a shit that's, like, really obvious shit, you know, like, you know, Zelda 1 and 2 on NES, Donkey Kong Country on Super NES, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like I said, the shit that's really well known that everyone and their fucking grandma knows about. But anyways, without dilly-dallying, okay, let's just get right to it. So, the one I'm gonna pick happens to be a privated video, and that happens to be a review on Super Battleship on the Sega Genesis. Yes, another game that's just like, why? Why did I review this shit? It's like the most, like, generic and forgetful shit you'll ever think of, so yeah. So the reason why I unlisted it was not just because it sucked, but there's another reason why, and it's kind of hard for me to talk about it, but I'll try to do it without, like, going too much into it. But let's just say that, okay, so firstly, I used to do these, like, really cringy, like, AVGN-style skits, you know, where I used to just, like, put myself on camera and try to do some whole, like, acting bullshit. You know, like, I know in the Dynasty Warrior review, I did that, like, whole cringy skit where I dressed up as, like, my Guo Huai outfit, and I was, like, just pretending to be him, and it was just really dumb and stupid. So yeah, the Super Battleship video had that one of those things in it, which is already pretty bad enough as it is, but the other thing about it, and this is the big reason why I privated it, is the fact that a person that helped me out with that video is someone that I'm trying to, like, you know, distance myself away from, so yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. I know a lot of you guys are probably gonna be very curious about knowing, but yeah, no, I'm not gonna be saying anything like that because, you know, it's just a whole big fucking shit show. So there you go. Super Battleship on the Sega Genesis is probably one of the most, like, useless videos that I've ever made. And yes, it just sucked. But the good side that came out of this is that, you know what? I improved from this. Like, you know what? Like, all of, like, my shitty videos, as bad as they were, I think I've gotten a lot better. And that's kind of what happens with, like, you know, any channel that starts out. Like, you know, you're never going to start out, like, being, like, 100% perfect or anything. So even if you do start out and you're not really happy with the way how things are going, well, like I said, like, just keep at it, you know, keep trying new things, or just keep trying to, like, look up stuff and improve on whatever it is that you need to improve on. And you know what? And eventually you'll get into a groove and you'll start really having fun with it. So that's all I'm going to say about this video response. So, as always, you know, like, if you want to do a video response to Terry309 because it's a really good question, well, I think it's definitely worth doing. So there you go. Thank you for watching and commenting, and have yourselves a great day.